The reproduction of this content is not allowed without the express written consent of EBH Fitness LLC.
Dr. C. Victor Herman III, and I'm taking it to the house.
And I'm Dr. Timothy Hoover. We want to welcome you to another edition of Taking It to the House. Thank you for joining us. My brother, Vic, March Madness. Whoever coined the phrase should be a millionaire just on the phrase alone. March Madness. But first, let me explain myself. I'm not talking about just the NCAA men. I'm not talking about the NCAA women, which you talked about last week, who were trying to scrap madness. I'm talking about ramping up for the NBA and the Ant-Man putting chins on the madness. I'm talking about free agency in football. And what's up is down, what's down is up. We talked about the Bears last week, possibly getting your quarterback from SC, Caleb Williams. Madness. Because that's the first thing that the Bears did right in a long time. I'm talking about madness. And then we got two-time Cy Young winner Snell on the way to the Giants, the hated Giants. I'm talking about madness. Madness not for one of those things singularly, but all together. We got a confluence of stuff going on. And I gave you a lot of meat, bro. Go for it. What you got? What's on your mind?
Look, madness, dog. I'm feeling the surge. Look, there's this commercial when I grew up in New York. Crazy Eddies, man. Look, everything must go. Everything's on sale. What hair do I got left? Because it's been burned. I mean, just straight madness, bro. I don't know. Out of that smorgasbord of opportunities to talk on, do I want? Look, you ain't lying. We do a show last week, and I'm like, yo, all these NFL moves. What's my boys gonna do? And they said, look, we play bid whist. Everybody else over there playing spades. Do you say Derrick Henry? Look, what about them 6 rushes a whole game in the AFC Championship game against Patrick Mahomes, the one they're starting to call the GOAT? I'm pissed off. Yeah, I'm still hot about that game. We did 6 carries in a full game. We're the league rushing champs years in a. So you know we said? We heard you. They may even said, we heard you, Vic. We know you took your daughter and your nephew and you were embarrassed at your stadium. But this is what we got. No! Derrick Henry? We talk about madness? That's straight madness. Dog, how are you going to defend against that rushing attack? A feared running back. Yes, he's 30, but he's got some miles left. And the way this line protects, he's going to be preserved. And then you still got the double cannon, double threat of Lamar Jackson, who's still in his prime between running the ball, passing the ball. Zay Flowers, that's just our offensive threat. So we reload and we stay healthy. That's the classic phrase for every 32 teams in the NFL. We stay healthy. But trust and believe. When it talks about madness, I almost had to be committed to an asylum last week. I was so hyped. So that right there, that's one nugget I just had to chew on. Anything you got to say about that pickup?
Death pickup. That's a death pickup. Your boy Harbaugh over there, as you say, everybody else is playing checkers. He's playing chess. Some people are playing spades. He's playing big whist. He took it to another level. That's a death move. Again, nobody saw it coming. You didn't even hear rumors of it coming. Matter of fact, Derrick Henry should have been with the Cowboys. That's what the rumor was. He should have been with the Cowboys. Great addition. How do you use him? Well, run the ball. He's one of a few running backs that actually get more yards as the game goes on. Big boy, okay? And you got to make a business decision if you 6'1", if you 5'11", as a DB coming at him and he's full steam, he's got a full head of steam. You gotta make a career business decision when he's coming your way. But I got to get back to your OC. Okay, he had a chance in the AFC Championship to really drive a nail, and he didn't do it. So now you get this stud. How do you use him? When do you use him? It's the you're the president of the United States. You're the commander in chief, and you have all this arsenal at your disposal. How do you use it? So, OC, you're on the clock. Lamar, okay, yeah, you win the MVP, but you're still going to be on the clock because the OC can say just about anything he wants to, but in the end, it's you, the general in the field, that can override the decisions. It's called an audible. It's called you're in the game, what makes sense. Somebody, y'all need to work as a collaborative effort. I get that, but in the game, in the moment, run the ball, and then guess what? Run the ball, and then what you gonna do? Run it again. You were winning, and you were a feared deep offensive running threat as it was. Why keep passing the ball? Why turn the ball over so Patrick Mahomes could do his thing? I mean, so I'm not even gonna go back as a revisionist. I want to know what you're going to do in the future when you have this stud as a running back in your stable.
Yeah, baby. So I had to hit that one. Like you said, football is king. It's March, and we're still talking about the NFL. That's just how dominant they are. But in your spirit of madness, you hit with my boy Ant Edwards. Look, it's Minnesota Timberwolves. The last time I worried about Minnesota Timberwolves, I think what? They had Kevin Garnett, Latrell Sprewell, and they may have been a threat. Look, these cats, man, they're under the radar, and they're saying we can stay there, we can come straight front to you. And to see what Ant Edwards did the other day, if that's not madness, I don't know what is. Dude did a dunk. I mean, it's just nasty. I don't know if that's he's supposed to be seen on TV. Did you see what he did? And he fractured his finger. And then he had when he even saw himself on the interview and he saw the highlights, he said, "Ooh, that was nasty." He should have said, "That was madness." Bruh, what do you think about my boy?
Okay. All right. First of all, to the Collins family, for the rest of your life and even post-death, you are going to be talked about because it's part of the archives. Collins, the one who gets dunked on, is who I'm talking about. Maybe you ought not get in that frame. Maybe you ought to think about who's got the ball. Maybe you need to think a little bit quicker on what might happen and then what did happen. Well, what did happen? He had a running start, bro. He had a running start, and he sprung. So what I want to say about the Ant-Man and Minnesota, while we're on the subject, did you see that as an athlete? I see athleticism at its peak when I saw him go up, and he just went up in beast mode. And I don't care. It could have been Elijah Wan. It could have been David Robinson. It could have been Patrick Ewing. He was going to go up with bad intentions, and he did. John Collins just chose the wrong time to try to be, defend the rim. That's what you're supposed to do. So what I think is Ant-Man is a human highlight film. Man, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, the game-saving block where he had to run somebody down, hit his head doggone on the rim then. Okay, so just a human highlight. I love seeing that. I wish he were a little more humble, but then at the same time, no, I don't, because I need you to be at your best. Because you talk about Minnesota, Kevin Garnett, maybe Stephen Marbury, back in the day when there was something. And Kevin Garnett by himself, when he had no names, was doing work up there. Now Minnesota is relevant. But I would disagree with you on one point. They're not sneaking up on anybody. The surprise is when Cat gets hurt. They thought a lot of teams thought they were going to tumble. A lot of people picked them to go to the playoffs this year because of the success they've had the last couple of years. They were going to be playoff bound, but nobody expected them to be playing for the NFC. Excuse me, I'm thinking football again. Nobody thought they were going to be in the West Conference champions right now, or playing for the number 1 seed in the West. So that's remarkable. And when Karl Anthony Towns get hurt, they thought they were going to take a dip. They haven't. Because of who? Because of the Ant-Man. He is, and that is his team. He is the alpha male. And when I talk about alpha, I'm not talking about, okay, let's see what everybody thinks kind of alpha. It's like, follow me, give me the damn ball, and let's go kind of alpha. That's what I'm talking about. So Ant-Man, Minnesota, they need to be feared. They will be feared coming out of the West.
So are you saying, has the torch been officially passed? I mean, I'm with you. Cat had the team, but it was never Cat's team. He seemed a little too passive. Is the torch passed? Is it Cat's? Is it Ant-Man's team? And Cat knows his role?
Hold up. You know what? Passing the torch, like passing the baton, is like we're teammates and here and now it's your turn. No. He came in like a Viking. I'm talking about Ant-Man. He came in like a Viking. He came in like a thug off the street. He came into your house and took your woman and told you, go get him a beer. That's what he did. No, he's the leader. And he took it. It was no passing of the torch. It wasn't a passive thing. No, he was aggressive. He is that dude. Superior athleticism. And he wants to win. They all want to win. I get that. They all want to win. Nobody likes to lose. And you get to that level, you shouldn't want to. But there's the Kobe Bryants. There's the Michael Jordans, who will slap a teammate. You hear me? Kind of guys that will want you to elevate your game and talk to you and get into your face. That's Ant-Man. Case in point, trying out for the Olympic team, for the FIBA World Championships and everything. He was talking about, man, you guys, he dunked on, what's your boy, the reigning defensive champion. That's your boy.
Gobert?
No, from Memphis, tall brother.
Steven Adams.
No, it'll come to me, but he was on the team too. And he was telling them, no, you're supposed to be the reigning defensive player of the year, and this is what you got. He was dunking on him in practice. Junior, big tall dude, wants to play from the outside. I can't think of his name. It'll come to me. But anyways, he was that same way during the summer for the championship for the USA team. He was like, come on, let's go, let's play, let's do this. He was very upset, very angry how they placed. They didn't even place in the FIBA World Championship. So and he has and Minnesota, they do have all the requisite pieces. Okay, so to answer your question, there was no passing of the torch. He took the mantle. He took the wheel. He said, pull over. I'm going to drive. Let's go. Follow me.
Man, so I guess that's what's mind-boggling. It's the freaking Minnesota Timberwolves. And is it the coach? Is it the players? You talked about pieces. I got to make this personal. Why are the Lakers, why are we struggling? If you're doing this with Ant-Man, Cat, a hurt Cat, I don't even know who the coach is for Minnesota. Like, I know they exist. I know they're a team, but they've always been little brother. They just been, not even little brother, they've been the toddler in the back room with the door closed, crying. I don't know who they are. So how did you're saying they come into the front door. You're telling me, nah, that ain't that dude with the shine box. These dudes are right here in front of you. How are the Lakers not, or just help me out here, man, because I'm perplexed. These dudes in Minnesota are doing something, and we got LeBron, AD, Austin Reeves, Chewy, all this stuff over here in LA. What's the deal, bro?
Okay, to answer your question, give me a second. It was Jaren Jackson Jr. from Memphis that I was talking about. So the problem with LA, and why Minnesota is doing what they're doing. They had trouble last year. Rudy Gobert was a nice move. They got criticized, but he doesn't demand the ball. He's a defensive stopper. That allows Catman, who doesn't really want to play in the post, to roam inside, outside. But that's 2 7-footers. That's twin towers that is formidable, that can score inside, defend inside, score outside with Catman, or open up the lane when Rudy goes to the bench so that Ant can do whatever he needs to do. And Conley that's the ultimate professional as the point guard, get everybody the ball when they need the ball, and he can knock down the three. So the bench and Coach Finch, they are a good, solid team. They are the team. Conversely, the Lakers are not a team. They're not. They are a team that is assembled, but you got 2 stars. And roles on any given night is not clearly defined, except for does LeBron want to be the alpha today? Does he concede and let AD be the alpha because he's just passing the ball? Otherwise, the ball is in LeBron's hand, seems like 70, 80% of the time, and it starts from there. I wish it weren't. So the better team is Minnesota. The Lakers are a team on paper, but not a team clearly knowing how during the game to make it happen as a cohesive unit. Ham has his hands full. On top of all that, with the injuries, and everybody has injuries, if we were healthy, it would be better. But we have had too many injuries, so we're piecing together. We're always seemingly a new offense, new starting 5 for the Lakers. However, here's what I want you to hang your hat on about the Lakers, and I'm gonna borrow this from LeBron. LeBron said, on any given night, we can beat anybody. That is true. But on any given night, they can be beat by anybody. That's what's frustrating as a fan. And that shouldn't be. When you have the 2 studs, 2 members of the all-time 75 team, 2 members who are perennial all-stars, a coach in his second year, you win the in-season tournament, you know how to play seriously, and yet you're fighting for the 9th, 10th seed. Make that make sense to me. I don't get it. The games you're supposed to win, you're supposed to win. The games that there's a 50-50 chance, win 50% of them at least. But we're not doing that. And so what I believe too is there's a switch. Like last year, we came out of the play-in, and then we ended up in the championship. I think that's a false sense of security. You can't play that way. That's playing with the basketball gods. And yet, that's what I sense is what's going on. They're saving themselves for when it matters, which makes me think, do these games really matter? The players, we talked about it last week, All-Star game, it didn't matter to them. The in-season tournament mattered for what? And then they dialed back their energy, their intensity. So I don't know. I'm really saddened by their lack of effort for 82 games. They don't give me 82 games worth of work. And this is the first year in a long time, first year ever, I said, I'm going to get rid of my league pass because I don't like the product that I'm seeing. I question the players and I question the integrity of the game when you can't play and take the game serious. That's where I'm at. So to answer your long question, in a short manner, it's the Lakers are playing with fire. They shouldn't be. They are better than what the record is, but what does somebody say? Your record is who you are. Well, that's that bad part too. Their record is who they are.
Yeah, that's good stuff, man. I guess, and I like hearing, even as a fan, I know diehard fan, for you to say, I'm pulling a league pass. I wonder when enough fans say enough is enough, whether it's load management, whether it's the product of the field. Again, we can go back because we watched basketball for at least the last 40, 50 years to be able to say, them boys in the 80s didn't get paid like this, but they played hard every time. And wondering how many times would we have to question if Magic Johnson's going to play tonight, Larry Bird's going to play, if George's going to play. And you get more money now. You have more medical advances. And it's like, the TV coverage is out the yin yang. And why give us a more watered down product? And I know Adam Silver's working hard, but What are those opportunities us as a fan says, okay, I'm not happy. What do you think? And I'm with you on the dial back and trying to work for the play-in tournament. Is there enough juice in the tank that we can secure a 7 seed? Because 7 seed don't have to compete. Or no, you got to get the 6 seed so you don't compete for that tournament, right? For the play-in.
Correct.
So you need 6 seed.
Top
Are
six.
they in?
Yeah, you're not.
Are they
part of the play-in.
battling?
Right.
Are they battling for 6? Like, do they have a chance? Let's see. This is why I don't even like having this conversation. It's unnecessary for us to talk about the 2 best players in the doggone league. Like, dang, are they close to the 10th seed or close to the 6th seed? Like, who even has that conversation? But we have to have the conversation because you don't want to have that unnecessary game that risk injury. So, are we close to the 10 or 6?
So 2 games ago, when we're playing the Kings and we're playing the Clippers, even we got to win these games. These were winnable games. We need to win these games. It was Denver. Got to win them because we didn't put up any equity. We didn't put the equity up front. So we have no equity. We have nothing to lean on. If we were to twist an ankle, get an injury, just a game ago, an abrasion to AD's eye, his cornea. So doggone, man, we don't have any wiggle room. No, we're closer to 10 than we are 6. However, we're going to need a lot of help. There's only like 15 games left. 15 games left for positioning. And those top 6 probably are not going to drop off unless something crazy happens. But here's the sad part. We're better than the Phoenix. We're better than Phoenix. I think we're better than OKC. OKC is the number 1 seed. I think we're better than Minnesota. Them regularly. We have shown it. But our record doesn't show it. Because we go to Atlanta, we just beat Atlanta. But when we went to Atlanta, we let Atlanta beat us. We lose to Memphis. We losing to booty teams. Teams that don't have star power, shouldn't have anything going for themselves. But we lose. So, yeah, it's not us going to get the 6th seed. We're going to have to battle through the play-in again. All things being even, we'll more than likely have to play Golden State. 10 and 9 will have to play one another. The loser goes home. Only to play another game because we're going to play the loser of 7 and 8. Yes. It's only to get, that's for the 8th seed. Then you're going to play.
That gets the number 1 team.
You're going to play the number 1 team. So the number 1 team right now is like OKC. I think OKC and Denver, they were tied last I remember. And so we can't match up with Denver very well. We match up, but we can't finish. They're our Wolfbane, so we can't do well. We don't want them. We would rather face OKC. And we're going to need a lot of luck. So to get out of the present position, we're in the 9th seed. We're in the 9th seed right now because Golden State lost last night. We won, and we got them by a game. But if we end up tied, we go to the 10th seed automatically. We need to get the who is it? Dallas, Kansas City. We need New Orleans. We need this. I said Kansas City, but I meant Sacramento. We need them to stumble. I'm not praying for an injury, but they happen. I'm not praying for none of that, but we need help because we have proven to not be able to handle our own business.
That's the shame. And I look back and we'll have these conversations offline. Right now, it tells me the LeBron AD experiment was a failure. There's no way. We look at what's happening in Boston. We're all going against the race against to get 18. We're supposed to get 18 first. Boston is a juggernaut. They're looking great. They're playing seamless. They can't say, oh, well, we have a new coach. Yeah, you do have a new coach. You fired a coach in midseason a couple years ago, still recovered, landed on your feet, and still doing damage. You got Minnesota out there doing great stuff. You got teams that have been resilient, kept the star power, and are performing. The LeBron experiment is not working. We'll finish it off. Let him retire out of here. I mean, why would we do anything other than the AD piece is not working as far as what they were supposed to give us. There's no way I want to have the asterisk laden championship in 2020. We didn't have the parade. It's just sad. And how many coaches did we go through in the same time? At least 3. So I fear and I feel that Darvin Ham had a great year last year, even though we're still not supposed to be a playing team. So but we overachieved. But you don't overachieve to come back and do the same thing you did last year, expecting the same result. Now that's insanity. That's madness. So what do they do this year? And I fear if he doesn't produce, they're going to fire that coach. And so it's just like a bad experiment.
The Lakers, they're popular. They're historic. One of the most historic franchises. But you need to talk about Boston, and that's what you're hinting at. And no, do they rest their players? Yes. Do they strategically rest their players? Yes, they do. But I would tell you that the energy that Boston brings, and I'm not a Boston fan, I'm a Laker fan. You cannot be a Boston and Laker fan. But I respect Boston. Coach Mazzulla, Tatum, Brown, Porzingis, and their bench play. Drew Holiday, White. They are assembled to win it all. And trust and believe. If they don't, it would be a disappointment. But getting there, the process, how they're taking this season very serious, it's admirable and to be respected. And I do. And so I'm looking at them. Tatum is now potential MVP. And it's going to be either him or Jokic. That's where they're at. Brown is a nice 1B. He's a very nice 1B. And our producer, I remember just a few short years ago, he was talking about, man, I want to get rid of one of them. They both can't play together. And I thought he was madness. I thought that was madness. There wouldn't be any other coach, any other GM, any other fan that wouldn't want those two side by side, because I believe they figured it out. Okay? It's not you go or I go. It's let's us go. Let's pass the ball. Let's defer. What's the best play for the moment? And they're making the hockey assist. They're not holding and beating the air out of the ball. So I commend Coach Mazzulla and Brown and Tatum, who have matured, gotten wiser, and their play shows it.
Man, madness. So right now, like I said, it's hard to choose a team that's not our team. But I'll tell you, Boston looks great. They look dangerous. I know they're even here in New York with Brunson, but when I do see the eyeball test out the East, it's Boston's team to lose. It's Boston's championship, at least the Eastern Conference championship to lose. Not having the threat of Embiid, that kind of bounces out for them. I don't see a train stopping them at this moment. It has to be a mighty New York train, but I don't see any other team unless Miami just does what Miami does down the stretch. But Milwaukee's still trying to find their identity. Right now, it's Boston's least Eastern Championship title to lose. I could easily see it Boston versus Denver matchup, finals matchup, and it'd be a great show. Would the Nuggets be able to do the back-to-back? Would they be able to defend their championship? That Jokic kid, man, at the end of the day, he's running circles around AD, just like Sabonis is running circles around AD. Again, I am a little disappointed in the Lakers, and I have not watched any game because I believe they're better than they may be over 500, but they're better than the 9, 10, 8 seed. So I'm not watching that mess. So just like you said, no more league pass for them. I ain't watching that. You get to the playoffs, and I'll give y'all a chance. But the simple fact, knowing I have to watch you all in a potential, a do or die, win or go home, that's silly. That's for teams like the Houston Rockets and the Jazz and teams that don't even have nobody. That's a doggone shame. So again, go back to my original point. Boston looks like they're a supreme team in the East, and Denver, I'm not going to count out the chance of the representing there.
we got the NCAA March Madness about to start. Matter of fact, their play-ins are starting today. I just needed to know from you: do you have a team? Are you watching early? Do you watch any of the NCAA tournament, or you just wait to the Final Four, Final 16, Final Grade 8? Where are you at with
Well,
the
I'm
NCAA
dug
game?
in. I'm dug in. Start Thursday. I don't really watch too much to play in, and probably last year's the first time I really watched the actual conference championships. And I feel bad I had neglected that in years past, and I didn't watch too much this last time. But I'll get back into that because I see that is that's just as exciting, those conference championship games. But I'm dug in. Come Thursday, if I wasn't working remote Thursday, but like Tuesday, Wednesday, I start to just not feeling good. So then Thursday, Friday, Wednesday is getting worse. Oh gosh, I'm okay. I'll make it through. Oh, just this pain. And then Wednesday night, I'm like, you know what, boss, I don't think I'll make it. So Thursday, Friday, I'm at home. Yes, madness! Thursday through Sunday. And then I work it again Monday through the next Wednesday. There must be a virus going on. It's the same thing. So, yeah. So I'm all in on Thursday. Do I have a team? No. I think what we finally wanted in all the years of watching is parity. And I think that's what makes March Madness so great. You cannot really count on which team. Yes, I'm always about the blue blood. My college team, yes, I'm an SC grad. Yes, I'm a Mizzou grad. But my college basketball team is the Tar Heels. Always has been since I can remember. So I'm always going to choose them to make it to the Final Four. I don't know how well they've done this year. I hate Duke. I'm supposed to. I can't like the Tar Heels that like Duke. So my team is Carolina Tar Heels. So hopefully push through. But I know UConn has the number 1 seed overall. But the bracket they're in is a killer bracket. I think that bracket, that's the Eastern bracket. That'll be the most exciting bracket to watch because there's some dogs in it. A lot of the conference championship winners are in that bracket. So you can watch every game in that bracket and know it's about to be on. So I look at the brackets, I look at the matchups, I look at which Cinderella team, I could consider a 14, 15, or 16 team a Cinderella team who can really take out some of the big dogs. So I look forward to March Madness. So I'll say it again. North Carolina is my team. Go Tar Heels. But this year looks like it's going to be very exciting. What about yourself? Do you watch it all the way through or what?
I don't. I'm an NBA guy, so as long as NBA is on, I'm watching NBA. It'll trump anything that the college is going on. But when it comes to the college basketball, I'm a UClan by blood. It's how I grew up. It's Trojan football. It's UClan basketball. And that's me. And so, but I won't tune in. Won't really pay a lot of attention. Not this weekend, but next weekend is when I'll start. Okay, who's doing what? Where are the upsets? But I like the stories. I like the backstory. This is one thing that the college NCAA and these networks, they do a real good job in giving me the backstory. So some of those backstories, the Cinderella stories, are amazing. And so I love that aspect, not just who wins, not who lose. And we want to talk about somebody who's serious. Seeing some of these guys lose, knowing this is it. Their basketball career is over. And it's like a ton of bricks. And so seeing that reminds me of how it is just a game, but how serious and passionate some people take their game. And so I don't want to see anybody cry, but that's when you're emotional and caught up into it. So I'll get into it next week.
Yeah, no doubt. But at the end of the day, we just talked about the Lakers not being lackluster. And then on the contrary, these kids, minus the NIL, before NIL is even a thing, they're playing. Like you said, this is my last game possibly. I may not get drafted. I may not ever see another court, but this is it. Like you said, a small town team in somewhere in Iowa has a chance for national exposure. And they have so much gratitude and the humility.
Yeah.
And I think that's the piece where, to your point, I enjoy watching the tournament. And at some of that, I wish would translate over to NBA, because that's probably that, again, the tournament, the NCAA, March Madness is the last sign of pure basketball, pure love of the game. And you can watch the passion. Even those kids who are one and done, they know this may be it. And now it gets real as they go have a career in the NBA that may flourish, may not. So that's something, to your point about the backstories, that really attract me to it, but also just the purity of the game, and that's it. And I wish that part of that energy and what kind of blueprint could we use to put in the NBA, would you still generate that type of buzz?
Back to the NFL. This will be our closing topic. Justin Fields to Pittsburgh for a 6th rounder, and he'll probably be the backup. I'm scratching my head, bruh. And then we got to go to 2021, the quarterback class: Trevor Lawrence, Trey Lance, Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, Justin Fields. What do they all have in common? They're sorry. The quarterback class of 2021, nobody has made a name for themselves. Trevor Lawrence, he still has a starting job. Trey Lance got traded. Mac Jones going to be traded or is traded. Justin Fields got traded. Wow. I was listening Colin Cowherd, and I heard that nugget. So, Colin, I'm stealing that from you. Wow. That quarterback class of 2021, take that, man. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. I'm Dr. Timothy Hoover. We want to say thank you all for joining us today for another episode. We just had fun. And we treat this like a fireside chat, or we're around the table, we're playing, smoking, whatever, talking stuff, and we wanted you to be a part of it. We're going to do it again next week. Come on out, and that's taking it to the house. And I'm out.
Hey, one last thing on that comment. I love that. Give me the loot. Give me the loot. Look, the Pittsburgh Steelers made a steal. They got Russell Wilson and said, hey, guess what, Denver? You pay for it. Hey, look at that guy over there. Hey, Justin Fields, come here. We'll take you too. Like, who just came up? Mike Tomlin did. I'm that baby pappy. Hey, on that note, I love you all. It has been great. This episode has been pure madness. Enjoy the tournament. Enjoy March. This time of sports is out of control. We love you. Look forward to seeing you all. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or the X, whatever you want to call it. At the end of the day, you know you're going to find us. We're excited to be here and be in your presence, always having a great time. I'm Dr. T. Victor Herbin III, taking to the house. I'm out.